All right. Hey, everybody. This is Eric from TopFlight Trades. Hey, this is my second attempt at this. So sorry if you caught the first one. You probably didn't, but in case you did, I had to do a reboot. With this new Apple machine, it's just Apples are great. They're way better than Windows, but apparently I'm so far ahead of the technology needs of the world that apparently these computers can't keep up with me. So let me move the mic there, or the camera. So basically, and I also apologize for my friends in my circles who got repeated invites to this thing. This is a last minute. I usually do this on sometimes evenings when I'm going through stocks, going through my review. I'll just grab the camera and go online, and it's very informal. But in case anybody's around, they can kind of see what's going on. But pretty much, I don't expect anybody to ever watch this. So basically, what I'm going to do tonight is I'm pretty much looking at the markets, looking at the premium picks that we're playing and that we have our eye on, as well as our watch list, and just kind of checking things out. I just turn on the cameras all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to the screen here in a second, and then we're going to look at some stocks. So, hey, if there's anybody out there who plays stocks and is interested, again, my name's Eric with TopFlightTrades.com. Come on over if you'd like, check it out. It's membership is free, and if you register now, you get free lifetime picks for premium picks, free lifetime membership. You'll never be charged ever. So I'm just taking a few hundred people right now. I'm probably more than halfway there. So if you're interested in that, it's totally free. That's it. So come check it out and let me know what you think. So anyways, this is what we're doing tonight. I'm going to switch over to the screen now if screen share works this time. Here we go. All right, let's do this. We're going to run over and take a look at some stuff here. All right. Okay, so here we are. We're looking at the S. What's going on here, man? Come on. All right. Sorry, I don't know what's going on here. We're looking at the S&P. So if you caught any of... If you're at the website here last day or two, I was a little concerned about these last couple of days. What are we at? Today's Tuesday. So Friday was definitely a down day. Monday started off kind of strong initially. Excuse me, address this. In the pre-market, and we started out of the gate fairly well, but then closed in the red. Same kind of thing today. The futures are up today. And once again, we closed in the red. Let's take a look here. So here's the 13th. This is where the day started, out of the gate, gapped up, running, and boom. And what did we have yesterday? It was about the same. Here's the 12th. Well, we started off lower, but got a little steam. These are 15. This is a 15-minute candle. So, here about an hour into it, we were up a bit and then just pulled back and just garbage. So it's really kind of hard to play this stuff. To really be, if you're long, I don't short like ever, but if you're long stocks, you need to have really good, strong stocks. You need to have stocks that are going to outperform the S&P. So when the S&P is down and the rest of the market's down, these stocks are up. And we have a few today that we're going to kind of go over. Let me grab my list here. So yeah, so as far as the S&P and the markets right here, I'm not liking this. You can see I drew support down in this area. We came down, broke through it. We also have the 100-day moving average just underneath there. Let me zoom in a little bit here. You can see. So down here in this blue line is the 100-day moving average. So we kind of closed beneath it, opened back up, bounced off it a bit. But, here we are just a week or two later. Here's the 15th of December. Here's a month later almost. And here we are coming back, testing that again. And now for the third time. I'm not liking that. I'm not making a call on saying the bull run is over or anything like that. It's a little bit different. If I can just have a second here to say, when we look back at the S&P, okay, so now we're going back. Here's 2014. Here we're going back to mid-2013. We're clearly up. And, of course, you can see, just like the tide, we have our ups and our downs, our peaks and our valleys and so on all the way through, okay? And every time this happens, if you ever watch CNBC, which I advise you don't, all the subject matter experts and all the wizards and the gurus are on there talking, geez, it's the end of the world. And then it bounces, this is what we've been waiting for. And it's just, all over the place. But we get back here to December 15th, 16th, October. This one was a little bit different. See, we had broke down. If you look back again, we never broke down through the 200-day moving average. That's the purple line. And this is a daily chart. So this is our 200-day moving average. If my computer will work, piece of crap. When was the last time we were through that? All the way back 2012, November 2012 was the last time. Looks like we broke through the 200-day. Ever since then, we've been above it. And for the most part, we've been above the 100, and it's kind of held support fairly well. We've gone and touched through it a few times. But anyways, back here, October 15th, we punched through it. I got a lot of people wound up and all worried, thinking like, all right, this is the turn now. Now we're making lower lows, doom and gloom. And just then, boom, immediately it turns back, and a lot of stocks had some awesome gains there. And, if you like to not necessarily play bottom stocks or bottom fish, I'm not going to call it that. I mean, that's definitely a tactic a lot of people play and they lose. But when the market turns down, it'll unless we change trends and it goes from bullish to bearish, get some capital ready, take advantage of these dips. We just had it again December 15th here, or 12th or whatever it was. Yeah, 15th. We had another one. But anyways, looking back here, here we had the last one in August. Then we had another big one in October. Then here we are, December. And then already here we are, top of the year, January. And what are we doing again? Here we are again. So, looking at this now, I have this top trend line here. What I see, which doesn't mean anything, I suppose. But what I see is this right here. What I see is a formation of an ascending triangle. Okay. And obviously, it probably doesn't mean that whatsoever, but I like that. Ascending triangle is a favorite pattern of mine because I can recognize it so well. And, whatever, I'm not here to argue it, but obviously we have resistance was met twice for the most part up here. And then as far as SPY, about 200 level, and we've come down and we have higher lows. Okay. That's what I'm looking for. And that's great because it's bullish. It can be bearish. I mean, it can all of a sudden, fail it and break through to the bottom side, but I like this pattern. If it's any other stock, I like it. Okay. I don't expect it to come back down to support so quickly. We have the horizontal support here, and we also have the trend line that I roughly drew there. But I'm still optimistic with the market. It's not over with. And I haven't been tuning into CNBC too much to hear everybody freaking out and complaining. Obviously, oil is a big issue. So anyways, that's the markets. And, again, the bottom line is that most stocks follow the general market direction. Okay. You're going to have your winners. You're going to have your penny stocks that go up, 90% in an hour. And you're going to have your market industry leaders, sector leaders who outperform the markets as well. But for the most part, not all of them do, but for the most part, when the markets are red and the markets are down, it's a good day to, probably sit on the sidelines, and if you're long, that is, unless you're going to short. So these days here, look at this range here, just from the last, the top of December, down, up. It's just all over the place. It's really kind of hard to do anything. And unfortunately, if you look at our numbers, look at our portfolios, they're all over the place as well, who normally performed really well. But when you look at our portfolios and our lists, when you see how well they're performing, at the same time, look at the S&P on the weekly. Just boom. Come on. This green line's the 13-day moving average. Okay. I don't have the 20-day, but I bet if you drew the 20-day in there, it's holding the 20-day all the way up to October here. Okay. That goes back October previous year. Just incredible. And, with that, you pick winning stocks. You don't pick crappy, cheap stocks. You pick winning stocks, and the market's moving that way. That's what most of the market's going to do. So right now, again, December, January, we're all over the place right now. So it's really kind of hard. But you know what? That's fine. We need to be prepared for that. And that's why it's important to have good, solid winning stocks on your roster. Okay. And we have a few of those. We talk about them all the time. So I'm just going to jump through some of our premium picks that we have here the last couple of days. I've been asked to provide more of a greater detail on the exact setups, the entries, my trading plan if I were to trade it. I do not play every trade that comes on the premium picks list. Okay. For those who don't know, I have a certain set of criteria for stocks to make my premium picks list. The stock has to fundamentally be healthy. It has to have strong growth, strong sales, strong investor demand, strong strength. What else? You name it. I want the best. I want the very best on my team. Okay. That's pretty much it. So, and the reason why I like that is because when the markets are down, those stocks will often hold up. They won't follow the market as closely and in such great correlation as the markets. Sometimes they do, but for the most part. And if you play a weak stock, a penny stock, and it's just dragging along on hope and, crappy press releases and the market turns red for the day, it's going to tank. And, I'm not going to go through examples of that. All stocks will do that, really. I mean, I guess I got some of my picks here. Some of them just did horrible today. Look at this. GoPro down 12%, BITA 10, ACI. ACI is not a very good stock, but that's our coal. That's not ranked very high fundamentally. That's 7%. PGNX 7. NOAA, So, but we do have a few winners in here. See, Loco. That is right now is not ranked very high fundamentally. It's like a D in Market Smith and IBD because of this. Look at this wedge, this symmetrical triangle pattern failure. Just insane. I wasn't getting near this for anything, but has made some pretty good gains from $20 back up to 24 plus. Anyways, so this made the premium picks list. What I wanted for in this play, and what I like to see is when a stock makes a premium picks list, I like it to not just reach my target area entry. I like it to close above it. In some cases it can clear above it with a lot of volume. It's just that if I just set my entry target at too quickly, it'll often fail. Okay. And this is kind of a good example, I suppose, because this made the list here on the 8th, I think. Okay. And so basically what I wanted to do was close above, where is that? 152.40, somewhere in there. Okay. I want to close above. I want to see this finally step up above this resistance. Okay. It's not really much of resistance, but that's how I defined it. This is kind of the goal I set. If you're so good, let's see a step over this line. Okay. Well, the next day it opened up above it, but fell beneath it. And then it's going down since. So technically it didn't make this. If I said I want this to open above, I would have got into this. You see? Let me zoom in again. If I wanted to open above my line, I would have got in immediately. And there's a fair little wick on that. Traveled up to 153 that day but right back down. And so technically, I didn't play this, but it stopped out. Look at that wick. And this is where I have my stop set. No more than 8% is how I play it. But in this case, I had it down here to 148.83 or so. Okay, so that setup didn't work. And that is fine. Because you know what? If that's how the stock's going to perform, it doesn't perform the way I think it's going to be. It's weak. Okay, I was hoping it would bounce off the support and go. Look at this channel back here. You zoom out a little bit. Okay, so look at these horizontal blue lines. You can see we went up and hit this resistance a few times, came back through the 200, broke above it, and we're knocking on the upstairs door there, came back to it. I was hoping we'd bounce off it again and go. Well, I was wrong. So good deal. I am not in it officially. But as far as my play and my trading plan, if I did put money down, I would have stopped out easily in 3-4 days there. No problem. We move on to the next one. So it doesn't mean Roper Industries, it made my premium picks list. It doesn't mean that the stock is done now. Okay. Oftentimes when it makes my list, what I've noticed, if it makes my list like right here, like it did, okay, right where this red line is, if it doesn't perform right here, it usually drops down a step, which means to tell me, and I bet you, well, I'm not going to bet you, but it's going to come down here. It's going to drop through and it's going to find support on the 200-day moving average, and then it's going to come back and recover. Okay. Because usually my premium pick six will sometimes get it just a week or so early, little more in advance. Okay. And so it'll often survive my 8% loss. Okay. See, right now my stop is at 2.4. Let me drop this down to 8%. Where does it land me? Oh, I got a lot of room. Okay. So often it gives me plenty of room to work. So what this tells me is often these don't get stopped out at 8%. I mean, but this will come down. It's going to touch the 200 day. It's going to hold support. It might even break through a little bit like it did way over here. You're going to have long wicks to shake people out, and it's just going to come in within reach, and then it's going to go again. That's what I'm guessing. But either way, the plan I posted and have currently has failed. I will probably add this again to my list with a new trading plan for the next level down. So that's that. Next one we have, where's my list? Next one we have here. Oh, that's right. I'm watching hockey at the same time with my other list on there. Anybody's interested? San Jose, Arizona, 3-2 San Jose with 2 minutes left. All right. Next one, UTHR. Okay, so what we have here, and again, we've covered this in previous videos. It's kind of an ascending triangle. It's not very ascending though. It's not very steep of a higher lows here, but it is. We have this flat base up here. It's flat top. We've come up here and kind of pretty much knocked on the door a few times. And when you have these get higher lows, to me, it shows they're knocking harder. It's just kind of how I think of it. You know, the battle is tightening up. And so back on the 7th, this made the list, I believe. And again, with the color box here, this is my trading plan that I essentially threw together. Let me try to shape this so you can see it a little bit. Again, right here, this green line, that's where I wanted it to close above. Okay, let me zoom in as much as I can. We essentially did on this day, it'd be the 12th. And since then, it kind of proved itself, and now we're moving up. Okay, and so where we are now, today is the 13th, it closed on the 13th, and now we've gone up to this resistance line where we've met several times in the last few months here since September. So what I am hoping and banking on that we're going to finally punch through it. What this could do is pull back again, and again support this trend line down here, which is rising. So my stop is even safer, only at 4%. I'll let that bounce a bit, and then it'll take off. So we're watching this. This might punch right through right now, or it might pull back a little bit. Again, bounce around in this channel for a little bit, but so far so good. The target right now to this resistance is not very great, really. Often what I do is I'll play it right on the breakout, but sometimes it might come up like 5%, and sometimes I want a little bit more. So what I often try to do is try to find down here when it bounces off this support, because this trend line's rising. So if I don't get it this time, it might come down and I'll still be within play. And all it does is take a little bit more time, then it'll go. And of course, my stop will remain the same quite tightly underneath it. So that's UTHR, United Therapeutics. The next one we have on the list is FFIV. This video is going to take more than an hour. Ugh. Okay, this is another one. I just zoomed in here. Let me bring this down a hair. Okay, so this was made the list back on the 7th, which is the day of that green candle. So anyways, that's where I'd set my entry. It was above, what's that, 129, I believe it was. No, push past 130. I had two different setups. I had one that said close above 129 or push past 130. And I haven't got either yet. So this wick did it get it? Oh, I guess it did. Oh yeah, both of them did. With volume. So anyways, I guess technically we would have entered that. I did not enter this, by the way. But for the most part, you can see here, I guess the kind of thing I'm trying to show here is I like to have stocks when I have my entry. I like to have my entry point target be up a little bit. I like to just kind of have it prove itself just a little bit to me. And you've looked at the last couple of examples where basically I just try to find the previous high, previous resistance on a very small scale. like if it wasn't right here, I'd set it right to this candle here. I want to see some sort of new high, even within 2 weeks. You know, let's find a 7-day high, something that shows this thing starting to turn. And again, I like to have it close above. Okay, not just clear it like this candle, you know, because that's a false candle. Again, there I say, you know, or clear above 130. It definitely did. It went up to 132, but it pulled right back. And looking at this clearly, you can see this did not provide anything to move this forward into the green, even though I said 130. But clearly, it's so far hasn't performed. So that's why I like to do that. I don't mind risking 1% or 0.5%, giving that up to have it show itself to me. So that's kind of that tactic. So anyways, this is FFIV. It's still in play. If this does come down, stop me out. That pretty much will reset the play. Again, that doesn't mean that this stock is off the premium picks list. I will put together a new plan because again, sometimes what this will do, this is kind of the one problems I have with this system, is it's very good at finding bottoms and going, but sometimes it takes one more step down. It's usually not that far. So right underneath here we have the 100-day. Okay. So here's the 100-day. Now, if I take this, and let's say I put this at my normal 8% stop. Oh, I just pulled a trend line away. Ugh. Let me pull this away. Okay, so let's take a look at the 8% stop. I usually set it 8%, okay, which I know sounds absolutely crazy. But that pretty much follows the William O'Neill IBD 8% maximum. And if I really don't have a trading plan, which I usually always do, but if there's a lot of uncertainty, the market's choppy, I will set it to 8. I'll review the play and see if I can risk 8, and if I will risk 8, and I will set it to 8. But in this case, let's say I'd missed this right here, and it's actually going to break out down here in this line, the support line. It's going to come down off the 100 and then go. I'm still going to be pretty safe within my 8%, and I usually am. So again, with my tighter stops, it's going to stop me out quicker. So, but anyways, that's that play. And then as far as the premium picks for our members, if this does fail, and I just messed the chart up, I'll put it back. No, I won't save it. If I put it back, or if it does stop out where I had it, I will put together a new trading plan because the stock is still a good company. It's ranked very high fundamentally. It's very strong. Relative strength is strong. Earnings, growth, sales, everything's strong. Good company. So you can't really miss with that. Next one, we're going to look at HAR. Okay, so what do we have here? Okay, number one thing that I see right down here, earnings, end of the month, the 29th of January. Okay, so that's not very far out. Incredibly. Can't believe we're already almost the end of January, halfway through. Okay, so here we have this symmetrical triangle, kind of wedge looking funky thing we got going here. Boy, did this not follow the markets? Here's that big S&P dip here, October 15th. Oh, let's take a quick flashback here to October 15th. S&P, there it is. It's the same. All right. Well, it pretty much followed it pretty closely, didn't it? Okay. Did it do the September? It did not. It held strong in September, but now here we are. And we're down a little bit. So that allowed me to draw this lower trend line. So in this case, this did close up above my, all right, where are we going here? This did close up above my line. This made my list on the green candle. I wanted to close up above that day. It did. It has since pulled back. So right now we're just in the red a little bit. Also notice we have the $100 mark here, okay? And that is pretty much where I set just above my entry. $100, nice even round numbers, work very well for support and resistance. People place their orders and their buys and their sells and their stops at nice even round numbers. I usually play them off a little bit under by 50 cents or whatever it may be. You're not even a round number for me. That's why you might see an odd number in my targets and all that, because I want it to shoot past everybody. But anyways, you have 100 right in here. So I put my buy just above it. So it looks like maybe $100.38, something like that. So 100 is going to serve pretty strong here. And let me zoom in again. Sorry for this. So where we close? 99.93, pretty close. And look at these wicks here. You know, we dipped beneath down to 98. We're pretty much holding that, so that's good. And so that's why I have my stop just underneath the bodies of these candles down here, down $4, so 4% or so. Where are we at? 4.1%. And my target I actually have is not just up at this upper trend line here, this resistance line. I have it just above it. I'm kind of shooting for a little bit in between. We have the previous high here. We have kind of some little bit of resistance here and here. I'm shooting for this upper one, 111. Okay. Bodies of the candles may not hit it, but I think a wick will. So I think if it definitely plays up in here and we get a good bounce, if the markets are green, again, going back, the markets have to be strong. Not every one of these stocks are going to just be green, green, green while the market's red, red, red. So we got to, have some market cooperation here because this definitely holds this down. So the market's green, this thing can just take off. So that's what I'm hoping for right now. This is still in play. Technically, it hit my buy. I myself am personally not in this one. So, but that's HAR. Next, we're going to look at ACT. Okay, ACT has made the list several times in the last few weeks, if not months. This has made my premium picks list a long time, and it made it back. I forget what day it was. It was back on one of these days, and I had drawn this. Oh, I didn't move that, did I? I drew this arrow in here because when we came up to the top of this channel, I wanted us to punch through. It did not. It pulled back again and stopped to here, which allowed me. Well, actually, no, the support line you can see here was not. This one failed through it, but looking back historically, further points, we have some strong support along that line there. So that's why it comes up to where we are now. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so anyways, and then we did get that nice punch right through the moving averages. Now we're running. Okay, we're out of this channel. Now we're starting to make new highs. So here we are here, this upper dotted line. I went and I looked back here at this area, right through there. It's pretty much just an average through the candles. You can kind of see it when you stand back. Now we're holding it. Today was a red day. We're down. Now we're pretty much holding that line. So if tomorrow's green, then we move. Okay. So this is still holding up just fine. Yeah, ACT's made the list. Geez, going back at least a year. I mean, just a lot of opportunities at all these dips. Anyways, it recognized this as a dip, another one. So that's ACT. Next is AMGN. I'm supposed to go to bed early tonight. I just saw the heart doctor today, and I'm supposed to get more than 6 hours of sleep a night. So I'm going to go through this so I can try to get to bed and maybe get 7. So, but don't mind me, folks. I'm just yakking. Okay, so AMGN. Let me back up a bit here. Let's take a look at this in perspective. This is the daily chart once again. Let me shoot to the weekly. It's kind of sloppy there, doesn't it? Okay, here's the weekly chart of AMGN, Amgen. All right. So you can see, boy, we've been trading sideways for quite a long time. Finally broke above that area at 68, 70, and then doosh, took off. Just been booming since 2012. Awesome. Okay, well, now we are 2015. All right. So now we're kind of pulling back a little bit. And my drawings there are based off the dailies. Let's zoom in a little bit here. Okay, now let me zoom back out. Sorry. Let's take a look and see what we're looking at here. Okay, so this is a daily chart. This goes back a year plus. Okay, so anyways, you can see I drew that upper resistance line along the upper channel there. And then most recently, I drew the bottom support line down there of that channel. And so, yeah, this is what we're looking at. So anyway, so for as far as Amgen, what I want to see is, I don't have my notes in front of me. Let's see if I can pull it out here. Pull it up. Amgen, 158.41. 158.41, that's where that line is right here. And again, I'm hoping to see this close above it. The next day, you can see we opened above it and pulled back. And so we're kind of still trading sideways. So I'm not in this one. We do have earnings coming up here on the 27th of January coming up. I'm not going to review prior earnings. These stocks fundamentally are strong, so I don't imagine they're going to be at a great loss or anything. It's a pharmaceutical, Amgen. So this could be, we get a nice bounce here, which I'm hoping we will. This will be a nice little dip to buy on. So that's Amgen. Made the premium picks list back on the 7th, I believe. Next, we have ALXN. Okay, kind of almost looking the same here. We kind of pull back. Now we're trading sideways in the range. You can see my horizontal support and resistance lines that I kind of identified here. Once again, we have earnings coming up on the 29th. It's rolling up fast. Okay, let me jump back to the weekly so you can see. Oops. Take a quick drink here. Stand by. Thank you. Okay, so here is the weekly ALXN. So clearly, going back 2000, man, this thing's down in the 20s. We're now in the 180s. Incredible. Okay, so here we are. So looking at this, where we are here in the weekly. Okay, so you can see I drew this bottom support line. You seem to be holding it all right. Okay, and again, it's never exact and perfect. I always mention it, but when I first started with this, I swore, I always thought that it was always so exact, and it is not. And everybody gets tired of me talking about it probably, but again, these are just lines. You just back up on the weekly chart, and you draw your support and resistance. You jump to the daily. Well, now you have candles in the way, and it's going to look all sloppy, but you get the idea. I mean, it's just to tell you a range where there's a lot of people are buying and selling. A lot of people where they put the minimum and the maximum on their values that they feel are that company's worth, where they place their orders, their stops, everything. So that's what it's about. So, all right, I'm going to quit talking about that. So anyways, here's the weekly. So now let's jump to the daily. Let me zoom out a bit and you can kind of see what I'm talking about as far as these support and resistance lines. Okay, not looking that bad. You can see back here October 15th. Once again, we broke through it, but that's fine. So here we are currently today. Okay, so here we are. So this is ALXN back on the 7th. This made the list, which is what, this day? No, it's back on this day. Okay, I had set my entry above this 50-day moving average, and I wanted to find above this guy right over here, if you can see him. Okay, that was a previous high. Just let me see that. Show it to me. Okay, so I want this thing to kind of make new highs and give me a short-term trend that it's trending upward. It has failed to do that. So right now I can't do this. I can't go, oh, I can draw my new trend line on the new highs up here as it's heading upward. No, because it hasn't met that. Okay, now I have to do this. Okay, anyways, you get it. I'm not making new highs, so I have to draw my higher lows and so on. So that's not one that I want to play yet. Okay, now if you look, watch this continue. Now we have this bottom support line. And what do we have here? We have the 100-day moving average. It's right underneath it. Seems to be holding that fairly well. A little loose, but anyways, so that might kind of curl up to about here. So it might take another week for this thing to come. And then we have this support trend line here that's ascending. So we might get a bounce. This might take another week. Okay, that's fine. And then when we do, I want to see this again. As you can see now, it'll make new highs. They're clear above the 50-day, clear above the 100-day, which it is already. Well, close beneath it. But anyways, we'll go. And then where's our next target? Up here in this area, 200. And 200, nice round number. There's going to be a lot of resistance up there at 200. But this could be a quick 5% play if you want. Or if you want to wait till it gets down here, 179, 180. So what's that? Going to be a 10% play from down here to 200. And 10% for a lot of people is just mighty fine. So that's what we're looking at with ALXN. Again, I'm waiting on entry above this point here, which is 190 ALXN, 190.15, just above 190. That's where I'm showing it. Next, we have SNCR, Synchronos. Okay. All right, all right, all right. So basically what we had done, we come down here, hit this bottom at 39 was the low, kind of came up, 44, pulled back, came through it again. Now we're getting the bounce. Same kind of thing right here. This day, this big green candle was the 7th. And I wanted to close above it. We can say, well, you lost kind of a day here. But you know what? I don't know. It's just that bit of insurance for me. Okay. Actually, I could move that up here. All right. Either way. Well, yeah, all right. Whatever. Put that right there. You get the idea. Anyways, it kind of proves itself. So now hopefully we're heading up here. Watch it turn out, plummet. Anyways, target's up here at 44. So I'm hoping to get some nice little shot there out of that. This one is in play. And if you ever go to topflighttrades.com, I have a premium picks list there. And at the request of some members, I'm updating the premium picks list to include entries. When it makes a list, my entry target, as far as target number 1, number 2, my stops, pretty much everything. For every stock that makes a premium picks list, I'm going to put a trading plan together. Okay. Now, just so you know, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a certified financial planner or anything like that. This is just how I play the stocks. This is what I do. Okay. So I have my premium picks list. It's an awesome list. And I give you my entries, exits, in my trading plan. The reason why I didn't add all that to begin with, because frankly, I thought everybody has their own trading. They're not going to follow me to the T anyways. Okay. And if you ever watch anybody online and they say, follow me, I promise you, well, I guess I don't truly know, but I bet you they have their order in before they announce it. Okay. They're going to get it in a lower price. And then when they're going to announce it to their thousands of members and followers, and they push it out on Twitter, and they get all of a sudden a couple thousand people go in there and buy, and then the stock goes up 5%. Okay. Believe me, when they tell you to buy it, they're putting their orders in ahead of time. I do not do that. All right. But a lot of people do out there. So I do not play every single one of these. Not for any reason. Usually I just don't have the cash flow on what I like to play. If I have like 25 stocks on the premium picks list that are all in play, well, if I normally play with $2,000, doesn't mean I have, $48,000 or whatever number I just said, available to me. No, I don't always have $40,000 available. So, I'm going to also announce the stocks that I play because, frankly, where I'm putting my money down, those are the ones that I think are most likely, most confidently able to reach their targets. Doesn't mean the other ones don't. Because again, I seek the best companies out there. So when the market turns red, I can be confident that they're going to at least hold their ground. So anyways, this is SNCR. We did gain our technical entry on this point here. So we'll see how this does. Target here is about 43.50 for this resistance. Again, I choose my targets just underneath it because everybody's going to choose their targets right at the number there. I'm going to choose mine underneath, because that's the target, and you're going to sell. Let's say you want to sell into strength because it pushes up towards that area. Okay, next target is going to be up here in this area. Get this little bit of gap here. Okay, so I guess it could come down to 45 and hang there, but I think this gap will be filled. But anyways, don't be afraid to take your profits if you have them. Tighten your stops if you hit your break even, and that way you can always ensure a profit. Next, MDXG. Okay, this is our failure, super failure. All right. Anyways, here we are on the 7th. Well, I guess technically this we never did clear this. Here's the 7th, and here I put my line, and I wanted it to close above it. We never did. We closed above it, or opened above it, and closed beneath it. Either way, this play is off the table. So on the premium picks list, I've pretty much knocked this one out off the table. A new trading plan will be put together for this when it comes back on the list. We'll see when that is. Yeah. So not a good one. I'm scratching that one, unfortunately, but You know what? That stuff happens. Next one, Baidu. All right, what do we have here? Okay, Baidu. Now let's zoom out a little bit here. Okay, here's Baidu. Here, you draw this further out. Yeah, it pretty much supports it. Okay, so here you can see our bottom trend line here for the most part. This is on the weekly again. Got it down here. Kind of cutting through there a bit. Either way, you guys get it. May seem to be holding that. Come down, touch it there. Back in October. Here, now we failed it on the weekly. Okay. So now the support area becomes resistance, right? But it's ascending. So if this pops up, it might come up and hit that, but we'll see. So now let's jump back here. Well, okay. So yeah, let's jump back to the daily. I'll zoom out. I'm zooming out. Okay. So I'm trying to see this support line, resistance line that I drew here. I must drew that off the weekly because it cuts right through there. Either way, I drew that. I don't see what's prior. Anyways, it might have been based off the most recent low here. Yes, it was. Okay, I based it off the most recent low here and here. Okay, so anyways, here's that channel we that support, upward support that we broke through. Came down here and touched the same area of support as this area, as well as those other candles previously. Made the list back here when we started to get this bounce off here. And so I'd set the, I wanted to close up above this line. Well, the next day it did. Look at that. All right. Closed up kind of high. I still put this down here when it made the list. I guess technically I can raise this up. But either way, it did not prove itself. What did it do? It come up twice. Look at those wicks and hit that line. And I told you that this line is not exact. I just throw them up there, but it's just absolutely amazing how it serves. I mean, it's just insane. These are not exact lines. And it's just amazing to me how stocks play out with support and resistance. It's all one big puzzle. It's all one big game. I tell you what. Anyways, this goes up. Both of them touch those wicks and pull back. And now where are we at? Right back to the support line. So we'll see here how we play out. So obviously, according to this play, we're in the red. We did finally hit our entry on it. But right now we are in the red on it. And I don't know what we're down. A couple percent perhaps. But and my stop is tight on this one. Actually, let me take a look here. Baidu entry 224.35 is what I had set. There it is. Yeah, you see that. That's the first target 249.69. Okay, that's where I have drawn way up here. This is kind of like this area in here. It's just beneath 250. Okay, so 250 is going to serve. Again, it's one of those nice round numbers, you see, and it just happens to be the top of these over here. Oh, I just moved that line. Okay, so here's 250 over here. I want it less. I could probably make it 249.13, you know, and probably still be safe. But I bet you if I put an order in up there, I would probably come up and touch it. But, you know, whatever. We're not even there yet. So anyways, my stop is currently at Baidu. No, I don't have it set right. 206 would be 8%. It's at 215.28. So it's less. I don't know what the percentage is. But anyways, that's Baidu. Oh, a couple more here. ACRX. What? Oh, AKRX. There you go. Okay. Okay, AKRX. Here's Acorn. All right. So again, this made the list. So here's the same setup. Back on this day, so it's the 5th. Where's the 7th? Did it make the list on the 5th? It made the list on the 5th. Okay. Anyways, want to close up above. So this line's where it made the list. Next day, it held that line. Next day, it was up, which comes up and hits the 50-day moving average. Anyways, off we go. And the target I'd set was not high enough. That's fine. So right now, AKRX currently sitting about 11% on it. So if you have a 10% target to take out half your money, depends how you scale in or out. You could be in or out by that much right now. So looking at this here, let me zoom in again. I look at this top of this candle right over here, this area, 41.68 in this area. Oh, this one just happened to come up and touch it. So if this has any strength, hopefully we'll punch right on through and then head up to 45. If this is weak tomorrow, this will bounce right off this line. Hopefully it'll hold above this blue descending resistance line for that channel that we had that we already identified that just broke through. All right, so that's that. And then the last one, I just love this one. If I can dial it up. No, that's not it. PCYC. PCYC. Now this is just incredible. And so this made the list back on the 2nd. Where's the 2nd? So back in here, that green day right there. Yeah. Okay. So back on this day here, let me zoom in. This green candle right here. Why did I pick that entry? I may have just moved it up above those previous candles and found a spot above the moving average. I don't know. But anyways, I put it in at 27.23 or so. And that is right. No, I should 26.50. Oh, yeah, 26.48. Okay, yeah, 26.50 is where I put my entry in. Well, today, this thing was up 25% at the open. And so, obviously, when it was down here, it closed down here at 123.71 yesterday. This morning at pre-market, it was already up here in the 140s. So it just totally overshot my entry. I was looking to get in this one, but I missed my opportunity because it gapped up. Now, at the same time, when you place your stop, if you put your stop too tightly, if a stock gaps down, it'll hop right over your order. And you might think you're covered and safe, and you go somewhere and you happen to see a TV with some ticker scrolling, you see your stock's down 40%, but I had to stop in place. Well, if it hopped it, it hopped it. That's just what it did here, except on my entry. So all I can do is really kind of laugh at this. I didn't lose anything, but what a great opportunity. And this was news. Yeah, but no, I did not get in this. I wish I could say that I had, but no. So we'll see what this does here the next day. This might come back down to this area, 141 area. Might test that. We'll see. I don't recall what the news is, but it might hit that support area, and or it could fill the gap and come right back down to this channel again. We'll see. Either way. All right, while we're here, let's look at a couple others. AAC. Okay, so this is a couple of stocks some of the members had. They've already entered in or were already in. I don't know much about these companies. I'm just going to fly through this. But one thing I did note when I went through these today is how they're holding up to the markets. So here's AAC. Let's take a look at SPY. Look at that. Okay. That's what I like. Okay. It's holding up. Now you get the 50-day moving average right there. Okay. We're just trading sideways. Okay. Better than that. Better than that. Better than that. Okay. So again, I don't know anything about the company's financials, how strong they are, if they're even making any money. But oftentimes I'll play stocks just on the technical play. But again, I pick winners just to be safe. But it doesn't mean these are all wrong. It's just too much risk for me. I've lost enough money, but that's okay. That's just me. SPG. All right. Hey, let's take a look at SPY. Oh, let's take a look at SPG. Yay. Look at that. Nice break. Up to almost $200, 196.89. Next one was VASC. Okay. Vascular Solutions. Quite a super gap down. And oh my goodness, where are we at? 31. to 23. Holy smokes. It's working its way back up. And what did it do? Did it fill that gap? Oh, yes, it filled that gap. Look at that candle wick. Gap filled. This may be as high as it goes. I don't know. We'll see. SRNE. Oh, look at that. What a sweet breakout here. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. See, there are good plays out there. Just how much money you're going to put on them is a different question. You can call that something more like that. Boom. Beautiful. $4.40, say 4.50 to 10. Incredible. So if our members keep making awesome picks like this, we'll be definitely having them post more on the site because these are good companies here, I think. I mean, technically they're holding up. They're holding up the market. That's what I love. Unless the market is just booming. So here's tick. Very low volume on this one, right? Let me see here. Oh yeah, 4,000. That's way too. It's way too little for me. But it's hard. It was such little volume. It's hard to even see the technicals behind it. But anyways, let's move on here. ZGNX. Okay, let me back up. ZGNX. Okay, so now it's been falling for a while here, going back to almost a year. Let me kind of form this base here. You got this channel here. When this came up the other day, it was right. Let me zoom in. Sorry. Just a few days ago, we were right in this area. A new higher low. Get ready to punch through, and it did not meet that resistance line. Okay. And again, that's why I kind of like to see it close above. You might, miss a percentage, but you know what? At least it's going to prove that it's cleared it. Other people have different strategies. Some people like to just see them open above, but whatever you got. But anyway, ZGNX, this is still pretty good. Still got these moving averages right underneath to show some support. And we have the history here. So right now we're at the top of the channel, but worst case, it's going to come back down to $1. I don't think so. It might come back down to $1.25, but it's going to come back to 150 and punch through that. Assuming the company doesn't have any horrible news. I'm not familiar with the company at all. So NVIV. Okay. Hey, what do you know? It's one of my favorite patterns, one of my ascending triangles. I probably draw my ascending triangles all wrong. That's all right. I don't care. Yeah, we'll do that. All right. Anyways, come up here and hit resistance, $1.60, 2, 3, 4 times, whatever. You know what? We have this upward trend line. We're getting ready to punch up or punch down. I don't know. Looks pretty good. Got a nice steep line there. Volume on this is just under 1 million. Average 624,000. Today's volume 950,000. So we'll see what this brings. Again, let's take a look at the overall market. Oh yeah, down. What was this one? NVIV. Up. Looking pretty good. So yeah, you might be able to get with this. I would say a target would be close to $2. Not more. Yeah, probably 214. Wow. Yep. Keep an eye on that one. Again, these are stocks that do not make my premium picks list because of their fundamentals. But these are picks that some of our members have made. Either they're watching, they're in. Again, it doesn't really necessarily mean they're aligned with what I like, but that's all right, But what I do like about them, though, is the market. They're holding up the market. Well, they're not holding up. Let me back up. They're not holding up the market. They're holding up with the market. Okay. That's awesome. This one I don't know anything about. Today's volume 6,000. $6,000 is always traded in this thing today. That's too little for me. Geez, you bought up here, you'll never sell. Ever. You probably still can't put an order in to sell. So anyways, all right, that's that. All right, we're over an hour again. Nobody watches these videos, I know, but that's all right. Sometimes some late night people might find value in them. I guess it's better for me to do them than not do them. So I'm going to stop sharing now. See if I can find my window again. There we go. All right. All right, everybody. Hey, sorry for the late night. I have got to get to bed or I will not get enough sleep. My doctor will be unhappy. So, hey, I thank you very much for watching. Again, this is Eric from TopFlight Trades. If you haven't come over to the website yet, come on over, topflighttrades.com. Registration's free. We have some forums there. We have our premium picks list that we update all the time. These are good, strong, winning companies. We have setups there. The website is constantly improving. We just updated the website about 2 weeks ago over Christmas break. I've put hundreds of hours in on it, and it's looking a lot better. And there's still some back end programming and stuff that we're working on, and I'm really excited about it. So again, being free, it's definitely worth your time to come on over, and I'm really interested to see what you have to hear what you have to say as well, as far as what kind of setups you like. And that, again, the overall goal is to come together and to learn and to make some money. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So welcome. Thanks for watching the video. Again, this is Eric from TopFlight Trades. We'll do another video here soon. I usually do a video on Saturdays to kind of recap the week and look ahead for next week. Premium picks are posted every night. Yeah, awesome. So let's just hope the markets turn around and we start getting green again and get rid of this choppiness that we have out there. So, hey, okay, thanks a lot. This is Eric. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you tomorrow. Happy trading. Thanks.